Did you know that the coffee you're drinking every single morning isn't just a quick pick-me-up? If you're over 50, that daily cup is actually a powerful shield protecting your aging brain and boosting your metabolism. We're going to get into exactly why you absolutely need that cup of coffee after 50 in just a bit. But it makes you wonder, right? Long before coffee beans were ever roasted, how did the ancients get their unstoppable energy? Today, we are unpacking God's forgotten pharmacy. We're talking about completely natural, biblical drinks designed to literally repair our bodies at a cellular level. Let's dive right in.
I want you to really think about this for a second. How in the world did the ancients survive brutal deserts, grueling military campaigns, and just widespread diseases without a single modern pharmacy or, a corner Starbucks anywhere in sight? Long before we had highly processed foods, synthetic medicines, or commercial recovery drinks, these people maintained just incredible, unstoppable energy. And it wasn't magic. They possessed this deep, intuitive understanding of plant medicine that fueled them.
Think about what we do today. We literally spend billions of dollars on synthetic energy drinks that, let's be honest, just leave us with massive sugar spikes and severe crashes. It's a total roller coaster. But these biblical elixirs? Totally different story. They used whole food ingredients that promote actual cellular repair and give you sustained stamina. And the crazy part is, modern clinical science is just now proving what these ancient healers knew all along.
Let's start right where health begins, the gut. In the book of Exodus, during the Passover, the Israelites were specifically commanded to eat bitter herbs, things like chicory and dandelion. Now, much like your black coffee, bitterness is a flavor we usually try to mask with tons of sugar or creamer today. But to the ancients, bitterness wasn't a flavor to avoid. It was a potent medicine. It was literally their body's ultimate wake-up call.
The biological mechanism behind that ancient command is absolutely fascinating. When bitter compounds hit your tongue, they trigger what's known as the bitter reflex. It's like an instant biological reset button. Your liver gets stimulated to produce bile, and your pancreas immediately releases essential digestive enzymes. So long before you could just buy an over-the-counter antacid, this intentional bitterness effectively prepped the gut for nutrient absorption and completely cleared out toxins.
Okay, let's move on to another digestive powerhouse. Jesus himself specifically named cumin in the Gospel of Matthew. He was pointing out that the religious leaders of the day were so meticulous, so obsessed with the rules, that they actually tithed their cumin. Just imagine that for a second, counting it out and tithing it individual seed by seed. Now, you don't tithe something worthless, right? Cumin functioned almost like currency because it was so precious, having been used medically for thousands of years.
And guess what? Modern science has finally unmasked the secret of this ancient spice. Cumin contains a super potent compound called cuminaldehyde. It literally signals your brain to flood your digestive tract with enzymes. Modern research absolutely confirms that this 4,000-year-old remedy has strong antimicrobial properties, it actually lowers fasting blood glucose, and it even improves insulin sensitivity. It doesn't just mask digestive pain, it prompts your body to heal itself, making sure you actually extract the energy from the food you're eating.
So, how do we actually use this today? It is incredibly simple. Just lightly toast a teaspoon of whole cumin seeds in a dry pan until they get nice and fragrant. Add them to 2 cups of hot water, let it steep for about 10 minutes, then strain it and drink it warm. Try this super intuitive ancient practice right after a heavy meal or at the very first sign of digestive discomfort. Oh, and a little pinch of salt and lemon makes a wonderful difference to the flavor too.
So if your digestion is optimized and running smoothly, what about pure endurance? We all know that extreme midday fatigue hits all of us, right? Especially as we get a bit older. Well, when the ancients were out doing intense physical labor in the hot sun, they couldn't just reach for an espresso shot. They needed serious, crash-free fuel.
Consider this number for a second, 5,000. When Jesus miraculously fed the multitude in the Gospel of John, the text makes a point to specify that they were barley loaves, not wheat. Barley was the ultimate survival grain for the working poor, the soldiers, and the laborers. But the real secret here wasn't just in the bread itself. It was in the liquid form. Barley water was an absolute staple in ancient healing and endurance.
Here is exactly why barley water works so remarkably well. Simmering whole barley extracts a specific soluble fiber called beta-glucan, and it is incredibly powerful. It literally forms a gel in your gut that slows down glucose absorption and actively lowers bad cholesterol. I mean, it's so scientifically proven that the FDA actually allows a direct health claim on beta-glucan today. This is the exact reason why ancient hospitals routinely served barley water to recovering patients. It provided stable, crash-free, sustained energy.
Now, what about extreme rundown exhaustion? There's this fascinating story in 1 Samuel where David's men find an Egyptian soldier abandoned, just left for dead in the desert. The guy hasn't eaten in 3 whole days. So what do they give him? They give him dates and raisins, and the text says, his spirit came again. Dates were the ultimate cellular level restorer. They quite literally brought people back from the brink.
But here's the brilliant part. The ancients rarely just ate dates in isolation. They almost always paired them with almonds. When you blend dates with almond milk, you are creating a biological masterpiece. The dates give you this rapid, natural glucose for immediate energy. Meanwhile, the healthy fats, the protein, and the magnesium in the almond milk moderate that energy release. This completely prevents the sugar spike and that awful inevitable crash, turning short-term fuel into sustained stamina. If you're in your 50s or beyond, let me tell you, this is the perfect all-natural pre-workout drink.
All right, let's transition to what is perhaps the absolutely most crucial segment for older adults, defending the heart and the blood. Cardiovascular health becomes a major priority as we age. In the ancient world, they revered certain fruits not just because they tasted sweet, but as sacred, life-saving tools for longevity and vascular defense.
Take the pomegranate, for instance. It is a profound symbol of divine blessing. Its image decorated the robes of the high priest and the sacred pillars of Solomon's temple. And in the Song of Solomon, it's specifically mentioned as a drink, the spiced wine or juice of the pomegranate. This wasn't just a pretty decoration. It was treated with immense reverence as a royal cardiovascular elixir.
What the ancients saw as a beautiful symbol of life, modern science now recognizes as a genuine cardiovascular miracle. Pomegranate juice is just bursting with these incredibly powerful antioxidants called panicogens. When you drink it, they break down in the gut to provide severe anti-inflammatory protection. Get this, these compounds are actually significantly stronger than those found in green tea or red wine. It essentially acts as a natural biological shield for an aging heart. The clinical validations for this ancient juice are truly mind-blowing. Studies show that drinking pure pomegranate juice actively reduces blood pressure. It lowers LDL cholesterol oxidation, keeps your arteries flexible, and can even slow the thickening of arterial walls. Traditional healers didn't have microscopes, but they intuitively knew this. They used the juice for the heart, the seeds for digestive fiber, and even the rinds for healing.
Similarly, the grapevine is an absolute cornerstone of biblical health. I mean, it's mentioned over 500 times in Scripture. The grape harvest wasn't just farming, it was a massive community celebration. The vine was meticulously tended to and protected because it was viewed as a sacred tool for physical longevity, not just a poetic metaphor.
The real magic of the grape, though, lies directly inside the skin. Fresh, dark grape juice, pressed with the skins completely intact, delivers a compound called resveratrol. And if you follow health news, you know this is one of the most heavily researched compounds in modern longevity science. It's known to activate sirtuin proteins, which are directly associated with cellular repair and literally slowing down the aging process. It keeps your inflammation markers low and helps keep your blood pressure stable.
To properly harness this amazing longevity drink today, the absolute key is the skin. That is where the highest concentration of these healing compounds lives. You can press fresh, dark grapes, like Concord grapes, making sure to include the skins and drink it the very same day to preserve those active plant compounds. Or, hey, if you go the store-bought route to save time, just make sure to choose a variety with absolutely zero added sugar and no concentrate.
So as we wrap up our journey through God's forgotten pharmacy, the main takeaway is crystal clear. This ancient wisdom was actually hard biological fact waiting for science to catch up. But what about that cup of modern coffee I mentioned right at the beginning? Well, it turns out coffee is packed with many of the exact same bitter, antioxidant, and longevity compounds we just spent this whole explainer talking about. The bitterness stimulates your gut, just like the ancient herbs, and the antioxidants protect your cells, just like the pomegranate. As long as you don't load it up with processed sugar and artificial creamers, your morning coffee is a brilliant modern continuation of this ancient natural pharmacy. It is literally protecting your aging brain and your metabolism.
Which brings us to our final thought. Knowing the hard science behind the scripture, how are you going to feel your body tomorrow? Will you stick to your antioxidant-rich black coffee? Or will you maybe add the digestive reset of cumin tea, the incredible endurance of dates and almonds, or the heart shield of the pomegranate to your daily routine? The choice is entirely yours, and I promise you, your body will absolutely thank you for it.